Assurance Funeral Care sous WSRF 1580 AM et 99.5 FM avec Kathleen Barrow. Nous là pour connecter avec toutes les ressources financières qu'Apedeo grandi. Each day, the cost of living is increasing. It is the same as funeral and cemetery costs. Pre-plan your arrangements today and save your family the stress of finding the money later. Finance your plan up to 7 years with low down payments and affordable monthly payments. To set up your appointment, call Kathleen Barrow at 786-253-0211. 786-253-0211. Are you looking for a peaceful, dignified resting place for you and a loved one? At Caballero Rivero, we're offering a special sale on our beautiful lawn crypts at Southern Memorial. For a limited time, you can secure a lawn crypt for two, including the grave space, vault, taxes, and fees for all just under $14,000. This offer provides a complete package to ensure your peace of mind and the perfect final resting place for those you cherish most. But hurry, this exclusive offer is only available until August 31st. Don't wait to take this important decision. Contact us today to schedule a visit and see for yourself why so many families trust Caballero Rivera with their most precious memories. Call 786-253-0211, 786-253-0211. Southern Memorial, a place of serenity, beauty, and enduring care.
Nous même pas haïtiens, les nous fin grandi ti moun nou yo, nous ba yo éducation, yo jwenn bon job, yo vin fonder famille yo. Ki sa ki ka arrive nan vie jour yo? Ti moun nou yo a paye bill pa yo, petit yo pral l'école, esko déjà préparé enterrement? Pa kite ti moun nou yo nan problème. Rele Kathleen Barrow nan 786 253 0211 pour le cas edo préparer zafè enterrement. Pa kite petit ou yo ap chercher l'argent nan mes amis. Rele Kathleen Barrow dans 786 253 0211 786 253 0211.
Into our next to the 25 minutes that I have you guys. So again, I am Kathleen Barrow. I am a mortgage broker. I'm also a realtor. I'm a mortgage broker at Ethics Mortgage. We are located on 663 Northeast 167th Street, Suite 1019. And I'm also a real estate broker. I've been a broker for the last, I want to say, since 2008, around the same time as I was a mortgage broker. So I think I'm qualified to talk about today's topic. So if you guys have any questions about mortgages, if you're interested in, maybe you're considering doing a refinance or a HELOC, you want to refinance your house to see if you have any, you want to lower your interest rate, or maybe you have a lot of equity in your house that you like to use for any home renovations, you can call me at 786-253-0211. That's 786-253-0211. That's Kathleen, 786-253-0211. Or if you want to see what you are approved for to buy a house, you can call me at 786-253-0211. So getting into today's topic, there's a lot of people out there that are interested in purchasing a house. They're interested in, buying, Kai, so they could leave that as a legacy for their kids, for their PT. But, some of them are on the fence and they don't know if they should purchase, if they should buy a house or if they should rent. So some of the things that, some buyers are a little bit weary are, first off, they're scared. They're a little bit scared about the high interest rates. We know that during COVID there was a huge drop in the interest rates, where you saw interest rates at 2%, 3%, even 4%. And once things started getting back to normal, things went back to normal too, where interest rates kind of climbed, to 4% and 5% and now 6% and 7%. So you have a lot of buyers that are a little bit cautious about the interest rate. Another thing that buyers are scared is the inventory shortage. So even though you might see a lot of houses on the market, but is it really where you want to live? Is that your desired place that you'd like to live? Because when you purchase a house, you're there for a very long time. You're there for the long haul. So you want to make sure that this is where you want to be your second to last forever home, because your forever home is really at the cimetière. And then another thing is people are a little bit scared or frustrated about the home prices. Even though you might see like a huge inventory of houses on the market, a lot of times you see a lot of those houses on the market because some sellers, not all sellers, have an unrealistic view of what their house should be sold for. You could see I was looking on the MLS today, the multiple listing service, which is a website where all the realtors go on to see what's currently for sale, what's currently for rent, for residential and commercial homes. And then there were some houses that were like under 1,000 square feet that were 2-bedroom, 1-baths that were, $750,000, $990,000. And I even saw some in the millions. And these houses were on the market for at least a year. So even though you see that there's a lot of houses on the market, some of them are super, super inflated. Some of them are very overpriced. And so buyers are like, well, I don't know, man. Like, should I even try to, purchase a house? Should I even try the way the market is going, the interest rates, the prices are going? So some, I've been seeing a lot of news articles that buyers are a little bit hesitant, and so they did an article that I read saying what are the pros and cons of renting versus buying. So I'm going to put on my real estate hat, my real estate broker hat. I'm going to tell you what your pros and cons for both things are. First things first, I'm going to talk about renting. So here are the pros of renting an apartment or a townhome or whatever. So the first thing first is your flexibility. When you rent, it allows you the freedom to move wherever you like. Some folks like to move every year to different parts of, the city. So some people will want to stay in Aventura for a little bit, or maybe in Miami Beach for a little bit, and then Miami Shores, Kendall. But it gives you that flexibility that you're not bound to, your home forever. You can just pick up your stuff and go somewhere else. And you're not bound to it. Once your lease is up, whether it's a 12-month lease or a 6-month lease, after that, you're free to move to wherever you'd like to go. The next thing is your upfront costs. When you are renting an apartment, the norm is to pay first, last, and security. You're not really bound to having to pay the type of money that people buy for pay at closing when they purchase a home. So you're just paying first, last, and security. And then usually in those particular situations, first, last, and security typically equals 1 month. But some, landlords are a little bit more lenient when it comes to the security deposit. Maybe they might offer like half of the month, or maybe just like a small fraction of the month. But the norm is first, last, and security. And then another thing that you don't have to worry about is the maintenance costs. There's a lot of cost that is associated when purchasing a home, which I'll go over that in a little bit. But when you are renting a home, your landlord is responsible for any damages with the appliances within reason. And if you have like plumbing issues, the landlord is responsible for that within reason. Any sort of foundational issues, structural problems, electrical problems. If there's issues with your AC, there's no, you don't have to shell out. You don't have to go in your pockets and pay a repairman to pay for that when you are renting, when you're renting an apartment or condo or townhome or so forth. Another thing is you have the flexibility of, not really the flexibility, you have the predictability, the predictability of knowing that every single month, chaque mois, ou pour payer même puis pour rent. So every single month, you know that you're going to pay the same amount of money every month, and for the next 12 months. And then if your lease is up, you will pay whatever the agreed amount of money for your rent. So again, your pros are flexibility. You can move wherever you like. You're not stuck to one place. You have lower upfront costs. You're only paying first, last, and security. No maintenance costs. Your landlord is responsible for that. And then you know how much your rent is going to be every single month. Now, let's talk about the downsides of renting. The downsides of renting is you have no equity building. So every time you pay rent, you're just paying rent to someone else's equity. So if you're renting a house or you're renting a condo, you're renting even a trailer, you're paying into someone else's equity. You don't have any access to that. That just belongs to the seller. So the money is just, once you pay it, that's it. There's no value in it. Another thing is you have very limited control over where you stay. So like if you want to make any additions to the kitchen or to the bathroom, you don't have the right to do that. You actually have to ask your landlord first, hey, is it okay if I can paint the walls? Hey, is it okay if I change out the stove? Hey, is it okay if I change the knobs in the kitchen cabinets? You have to ask for permission to do that because it's not your house, and you have to ask your landlord. The other thing that is a con is your rent increase. So after the 12 months of your rental agreement, you're privy, or you're going to either pay the same rent, or depending on how the economy is, how the market is, the landlord may increase your rent. Sometimes it's by a small fraction. It might be just $100 or $50 or $200, and in other cases, extreme cases, it might be $500, $400, $600, and you have no control over that because it's not your house. It's that person's house, and it's controlled by how the economy is, how the how his interest rates are, how his taxes are, and how his insurance are, or hers, because women can buy real estate too. And then last but not least, there are no tax benefits when you rent. When you rent, you don't have access to the tax credits of your mortgage interest and your property taxes. Only your landlord has access to that. So you don't get any tax credits that can help, with the increase of your tax refund. And you only your landlord is. So again, your cons is there's no equity when you're paying rent. You don't have any access to it. You have very limited control over what you do to the apartment. You actually have to ask for permission. You don't have any control over the rent increase. If your landlord wants to increase the rent, he or she has the right to do so. And you have no tax benefits. So we're going to take a short little break. I'm going to come back and tell you what the benefits are in being a buyer versus a renter. You are listening to Chat with Kattt, WSRF 1580 AM, 99.5 FM. Each day, the cost of living is increasing. It is the same as funeral and cemetery costs. Pre-plan your arrangements today and save your family the stress of finding the money later. Finance your plan up to 7 years with low down payments and affordable monthly payments. To set up your appointment, call Kathleen Barreau at 786-253-0211. 786-253-0211. Are you looking for a peaceful, dignified resting place for you and a loved one? At Caballero Rivero, we're offering a special sale on our beautiful lawn crypts at Southern Memorial. For a limited time, you can secure a lawn crypt for two, including the grave space, vault, taxes, and fees for all just under $14,000. This offer provides a complete package to ensure your peace of mind and the perfect final resting place for those you cherish most. But hurry, this exclusive offer is only available until August 31st. Don't wait to take this important decision. Contact us today to schedule a visit and see for yourself why so many families trust Caballero Rivera with their most precious memories. Call 786-253-0211, 786-253-0211. Southern Memorial, a place of serenity, beauty, and enduring care.
Nou menm pa haïtien, lè nou fin grandi ti moun nou ba yo éducation, yo jwen bon job, yo vin fonde fami yo. Ki sa ki ka arrive nan vie jou yo? Ti moun yo a paye bil pa yo, petit yo pral l'école, esko deja prepare enterrement? Pa kite ti moun yo nan problème, rele Kathleen Barreau nan 786-253-0211 pou ka edo prepare zafè enterrement. Pa kite petit yo ap chèche l'argent nan mes amis, rele Kathleen Barreau dans 786-253-0211, 786-253-0211.
Welcome back to Chat with Kattt. You are listening to WSRF 1580 AM and 99.5 FM, the first and only Haitian-owned radio station in the nation. So we were just talking about the benefits and the disadvantages of renting an apartment versus buying. So now we're going to get into the pros, the benefits of buying a house and you actually becoming a home owner. So when you purchase a house, every single monthly mortgage payment that you contribute to your building, to your house, your second to last forever home, it builds equity into your home, which can be a huge benefit over time, because when the time comes and maybe you want to do some renovations to the house, you can actually pull money from the equity. You don't actually have to save any money in a special account. You can take that money from the equity in your home. You can do a brand new kitchen. You could do a brand new bathroom. You can even put in a pool. You can even do a whole new roof if you wanted to by pulling the equity out of your home. So that is one of the number one reasons why you should buy a house. And if you are interested in buying a house, you can call me at 786-253-0211. I am a mortgage broker at Ethics Mortgage, and I can give you a fast pre-approval to tell you what you are qualified for. We are located at 633 Northeast 167th Street, Suite 1019. The next reason you should purchase a house is because of your stability. By you purchasing a house, you don't have to be moving every single year, packing all your clothes, all your shoes, all your bags, all your kitchen items, your bed, your dresser, your coiffure. You don't have to do any of that. You will be in this house probably for at least 10, 15 years, if not more. Sometimes people grow old in the houses that they live because that's their investment. They have an attachment to that home because that was their very first home. So the number 2 reason to buy a home is because of stability. The next one is you have the freedom to customize your house. N'importe ça ou vle. You want a bathroom in the back of your house? That's your business. You want to build an efficiency? That's your business. You want to put new floors. You want to put marble floors, wooden floors. Ça fait pow. You know what I'm saying? It's your business. Nobody can tell you what you can and cannot do because that's your house. The next and final reason why you should buy a home, because of the tax benefits. That's it. You know, some people love it because they're able to use the money that they can report on their taxes, all the property taxes that they paid. Did you pay $12,000 last year? Go on ahead and put that in your taxes. How much did you pay in interest last year? Was it $24,000? Was it $15,000? Go on and claim that too. Because of all the sweat and the hard work and the money that you've paid into that house, put that into your taxes. And in some cases, when you buy appliances, you get tax credits. You get tax breaks for that too, because of you were green efficient. You were green efficient. You were energy. You were doing green energy. So those are the 4 reasons. You build your equity. You build stability because you don't have to move anywhere else. You have the freedom to build however onto your property as you see fit. Just as long, don't forget to check your city where you live to make sure if you need any permitting. Because if you need permits, you don't want to add something onto the house and then the city tells you violated a code and they make you take it down. So depending on what city you live in, make sure if you need permits. And last but not least, because of the tax breaks. And now let's talk about the disadvantages of purchasing a home, because it's not exactly fun. It's not always fun and games when you purchase a home. You should also know the implications of what you're getting yourself into. So when you purchase a house, you have what's called upfront costs. What are your upfront costs? They're your closing costs. When you're purchasing a home, your mortgage broker, your trusted mortgage broker, Kathleen, is going to say, hey, Stanley, since he's listening to us right now, Stanley, your mortgage, your closing cost is going to consist of your down payment, and if you're paying FHA, pay, your down payment is 3.5%. If you are paying, doing conventional, you would either pay between 5 to 20%, depending on what you're purchasing. It's also going to include miscellaneous fees, like the fees you pay your title agent, your title company, excuse me, your insurance fees, your taxes, your insurance fees, and then now that things have changed, now you're going to be paying realtor fees. So those are the upfront costs that you are now responsible for paying when you buy a house. The next thing is your responsibility for maintaining that home. When you are purchasing a house, it does cost to maintain that home. You have to, if your roof is bad, you got to pay for that roof to be replaced. Otherwise, you're going to have leaks in your house, which is going to lead to mold, mildew, and if you have enough mold and mildew that has cultured in your house, it's going to make you sick, and you're going to have to go to the doctor. It also, comes with the responsibility of paying the insurance claims. Since we're in South Florida and we're in hurricane season, we experience flooding, we experience hurricanes that causes windows to break, things to fall apart, waters to go into our homes, which can cause mold and mildew. So we're responsible for those costs when we purchase a home. Another thing that we're responsible for is the market risk. When you purchase a home, you can't control how the market is. You can't control if the value goes up or the value goes down. If the value goes up, that's awesome for you because that means you have developed equity in your home. But when the market goes down, you're at risk for being at a negative because let's say, if you're upside down in your mortgage, that means, if you decide that you want to sell, you actually have to plead with the bank to take the house for what it's currently worth versus what you owe. If you have questions about things like that and you want to see what the value of your home is, you can call me at 786-253-0211. If you call me after the show, I will give you a free analysis on how much your house is worth. Again, my number is 786-253-0211, 786-253-0211. And then last but not least, you risk less flexibility. When I say less flexibility, when you're trying to sell a house, it can be a very long process. When we first started the show, I told you that you had to be realistic in how you price the house. If you price the house for really more than what it should be deemed worth or on the average of what everybody else is selling the house, you can find that your house will be on the market for at least a year, 2 years, and in some cases even more. You'll see that there's no traffic, nobody's coming in to look at your house because they feel the house is too overpriced. So that's another thing that you would have to do when purchasing a home, because let's say that now that you are retired and your kids are grown and they're big and you want to sell it because the house is too big, if you're not realistic in those pricing for the house, that would be a problem for you. The next thing is when you're selling your house, people like new things. Buyers no longer want to do how you call it? What do you call it? Fixer-uppers. They don't want to do that anymore because it costs too much money. They already have to pay up the upfront costs, so they don't want to have to delve into their savings, to their 401ks to make your lemon into lemonade. So that's another thing that you have to consider when you have a house, because even though you might have bought it when you first purchased it, when it first was built, nobody wants anything old. Everybody wants new, especially for what they're paying. Another thing that you have to factor in is commissions when you're selling your house. You do have to pay real estate agents to sell your home because they have the network of people to actually bring to your house for the open houses, for the showing appointments, and just their regular buyers and their Rolodex. So those are things that you want to consider. So again, your cons are the high upfront costs. I don't know why I can't say that word. Your closing costs, the responsibility of maintaining your home, which is your insurance, wear and tear for your AC, your roof, your plumbing, the risk of the market fluctuating the value of your house, whether it's going to go up and go down, and the flexibility when it comes down to selling. So again, my name is Kathleen. I work at Ethics Mortgage. We are located at 633 Northeast 167th Street, Suite 1019. I have been a mortgage broker since 2008 and a real estate agent since also 2008. I am very much qualified to to help you in getting you pre-approved for a house. And if purchasing a house is not your scene, you can give me a call too, and I can help you find a rental in Broward County, Dade County, and parts of West Palm Beach. Last but not least, I'm also your forever home agent. I do work for Caballero Rivero in the little reclam I had. We do have a special that's going on now for a double plot at Southern Memorial Cimetière 151 for for space for two people, espace pour deux moun, under if you call me at 786-253-0211, I give you a very good discount. So you were listening to Chat with Kat. I was your host, Kathleen Barreau. You were listening to WSRF 1580 AM, 99.5 FM. And I just want to say thank you for listening to us. And thank you guys for supporting me and rocking with us. Have a wonderful day. Drive safe. Love on your loved ones. And we'll see you guys next week. Thank you.